I never planned to expose anyone that night. I only wanted to survive my sister's engagement without crying in the bathroom again. But when they mocked me, laughed at my clothes, my job, my life, they didn't know the truth. The company they bragged about working for belonged to me. My name is Lily Carter, and the first time I heard my mom call me a disappointment, I was 14 and hiding behind the kitchen door. She didn't know I was there. She was talking to my aunt on speakerphone while chopping onions like she was punishing them. I swear, Diane, Mom said, I don't know what's wrong with Lily. She's just slow. Grace got all the good qualities. I remember biting my tongue so hard it bled. I remember the sting more than the taste. When I stepped out, pretending I hadn't heard, Mom barely looked at me. Clean up your mess before Grace gets home, she said. She had a long day. Grace always had a long day. Even now, I hear that sentence like a ghost following me everywhere. One night after school, when I dropped my backpack on the couch, Grace smirked at me like I'd committed a crime. Why do you always slump like that? She asked. It makes you look weird. I blinked at her. I'm tired. I had a test. Grace laughed. Maybe if you weren't so anxious all the time, you'd actually pass something. I did pass, I whispered. Barely. Mom said so. Mom always said so. I tried telling Mom that Grace bullied me, but Mom always waved me off. Lily, stop being dramatic. Grace is helping you toughen up. Toughen up. That was her favorite phrase. One afternoon, while I was doing homework at the dining table, Mom sighed loudly, staring at Grace like she was the sunrise. Grace, sweetheart, did you decide on the college you want? Mom asked warmly. Grace twirled her hair and smiled. I'm thinking Stanford. Or maybe Columbia. I just want something big. Mom clapped her hands. My brilliant girl. Then she turned to me like she just remembered I existed. Lily, you should focus on passing algebra before you think about college. I didn't say a word. Inside, something cracked. When Dad left, it cracked even more. He hugged me last, and I remember whispering, Dad, please don't go, but he pulled away like my hands burned him. Be good for your mom, Lily, he said. And try not to cause trouble. Cause trouble? I barely spoke. After he left, Mom collapsed into Grace's arms. I stood behind them, invisible. Grace looked at me over Mom's shoulder with that same cruel smile. Guess he liked me better too, she whispered. That was the day my anxiety started living inside me like a roommate I couldn't get rid of. I used to sit on the back porch with my childhood friend, Ethan. He was the only one who treated me like I mattered. One evening, when I told him about Mom calling me a disappointment, he frowned. Lily, that's messed up. It's fine, I said automatically. No, it's not, he insisted. Why do you let them talk to you like that? Because it's true. My voice cracked. Grace is everything. I'm just me. Ethan shook his head. You're smarter than all of them. I'm not, I murmured. You built a whole app in 8th grade, he said. Who does that? It wasn't a big deal. It was, he insisted. You just don't realize how insane that is. I shrugged, but inside, his words stuck to me like seeds waiting to grow. Years later, when I secretly started developing a tech program after school, I hid everything from my family. My laptop. My sketches. My code notes. I kept them stuffed under my mattress like forbidden treasure. One night, Grace barged into my room without knocking. What are you hiding? She asked. Nothing. She snatched my notebook before I could stop her. What is this? Some nerd project. I tried grabbing it back. Grace, give it. She flipped through the pages and laughed loudly. Oh my God. Mom. Mom. You have to see this. Mom appeared in the doorway like she always did when Grace called. What now? Grace shoved the notebook at her. Look at this. She thinks she's going to build a tech empire or something. Mom skimmed it, unamused. Lily, stop wasting time. You barely keep up with school. These silly fantasies won't get you anywhere. It's not silly, I whispered. Grace snorted. Yeah, okay. Maybe one day you'll hire me to fix your broken laptop. They walked out laughing. I sat on my bed and hugged my knees, shaking so hard I felt like I'd crack apart. But instead of quitting, I opened my laptop and kept working. Their laughter became fuel. One afternoon, Ethan stopped by to check on me. He saw the dark circles under my eyes, the empty plates, the mess of papers. "Lily, are you okay?" "No," I said. It slipped out like a confession. "But I have to finish this." "Why?" he asked softly. I swallowed. "Because I need something that's mine. Something that proves I'm not what they say I am." Ethan sat beside me. "You don't need to prove anything to them." "Yes, I do," I whispered. "I need to know I'm not worthless." He reached out like he wanted to hug me, then stopped. "Lily, listen to me. You are not worthless. You're brilliant. You're just surrounded by people who can't see it. But what if they're right? They're not. What if I'm wasting my life? You're not. What if I fail? Then I'll sit with you while you try again." Those words almost made me cry. Nobody had ever said anything like that to me. Not Mom. Not Grace. Not even Dad. "Thank you," I whispered. "Don't thank me," Ethan said. "Just don't let them break you." But they did. Over and over. Every insult. Every comparison. Every time Mom looked at Grace with pride and at me with disappointment. Every time Grace mocked my panic attacks. Every time they called me lazy while I spent hours coding until my eyes burned. Their voices shaped me into someone small, exhausted, terrified of taking up space. But they also shaped something else. Determination. The kind that grows quietly in the dark. The kind nobody sees until it's too late. And I didn't know it then, not at 14, not at 16, not even at 18, but the thing they mocked the most, the tech project they laughed at, the dream they tried to crush. That would one day become the company they bragged about working for. And the company I owned. When I walked into Grace's engagement party, I already felt my stomach twisting. The room was full of glittery dresses and perfect hair. I tugged at my simple dress, hoping no one noticed how plain it looked. I barely got 2 steps inside before I heard Grace's voice slice through the air. "Oh my God, she actually wore that." I froze. I didn't turn around, but I knew she meant me. I could feel her eyes crawling up my back. Tyler laughed. "Looks like she got dressed in the dark." Ben added, "No, the dark would have been kinder." Jacob snorted, and Hannah murmured, "Poor thing. She tries." I swallowed hard and forced myself to walk toward them. "Hi," I said softly. Grace gave me a bright fake smile. "Lily. You made it." Tyler smirked. "Didn't think you'd show your face." "Why wouldn't I?" I whispered. "Because it's a classy event," Ben said, loud enough for nearby guests to hear. I felt heat crawl up my neck. I look fine." Grace laughed. "Relax, I'm kidding." "Sort of." Mom walked over then, eyes scanning me like I was dirt on her floor. "Lily, please behave tonight. Don't draw attention." "I literally just got here," I said. She sighed dramatically. "Just don't embarrass the family." Embarrass. The same word she always threw at me. Tyler raised his glass. "So, Lily, how's that little project of yours?" "What was it again, some tech hobby?" "Startup," I said. "It's a startup." Ben smirked. "Oh right. The imaginary one." "It's not imaginary," I muttered. "Sure," Jacob laughed. "Got any employees yet? Or customers? Or anything?" Grace chimed in. "It's adorable, honestly. She's like a kid playing pretend." Mom nodded. "She means well, but you know Lily. Big dreams, no follow-through." My throat tightened. "You have no idea what I do." Tyler raised a brow. "Then enlighten us." I opened my mouth, but the words tangled. I wasn't ready to tell them the truth. "Not here. Not like this." Grace took my silence as a victory. "See? Nothing. She'll probably end up working for Tyler someday. If he's feeling generous." Tyler grinned. "I might hire her to make coffee." Everyone laughed. Loudly. Cruelly. I felt something inside me sink to the floor. "I need a minute," I whispered, stepping back. Grace rolled her eyes. "She's so sensitive." Hannah added, Anxiety girl strikes again. Their laughter followed me as I hurried down the hallway and into the bathroom. I locked the door and leaned against it, shaking. I stared at myself in the mirror. My eyes already glossy, my cheeks flushed with humiliation. Why do you let them do this? I whispered to my reflection. Why do you keep coming back just to get hurt? My phone buzzed. Ethan. Ethan, you okay? Me, no. They're being awful. Ethan, leave. Come meet me. Me, I can't. Mom will lose it. Ethan, who cares? You don't deserve this. Me, I just needed it to go differently. Ethan, Lily, listen. You are not what they say. Breathe. You're stronger than this. I typed back, I don't feel strong, but I didn't hit send. Instead, I let the phone fall to the counter and gripped the sink harder. Their voices were still echoing in my head. Imaginary startup. Kid playing pretend. Nobody. There was a soft knock on the bathroom door. Grace's voice floated in. Lily, are you crying? Please don't ruin my engagement photos with puffy eyes. I didn't answer. She sighed loudly. Whatever. Just hurry. Guests are asking where you are. Her heels clicked away. I pressed a hand over my mouth to keep the sob from escaping. My chest felt too small. My ribs felt like they were closing in. All those memories rushed back, every insult, every laugh at my expense, every time Mom chose Grace's side before I even spoke. I splashed cold water on my face, trying to breathe. When I finally walked out of the bathroom, I heard their voices drifting from the hallway before I even reached the main room. Tyler's voice. Seriously, though, what does Lily even do all day? Ben answered, probably sits in her room coding nonsense that no one will ever buy. Jacob said, or writing sad diary entries. They laughed. Grace added, she's just nothing. You know? Like, she'll never be anyone. Mom's voice chimed in, calm and cruel. She was always the weaker one. I stopped walking. My heart didn't break this time. It hardened. I don't know how long I stood there, hidden behind the corner, listening to them tear me apart like it was a party game. But something shifted inside me, a sharpness I'd never felt before. They didn't know the truth. They didn't know what I'd built. They didn't know the company Grace bragged about Tyler working for, the one they all worshipped, was connected to me in a way they couldn't imagine. I straightened my shoulders. When I stepped into the hallway, my steps didn't tremble. Grace saw me first. Oh God, Lily, were you eavesdropping? Yeah, I said quietly. I heard everything. Tyler smirked. Then you know we're not wrong. My voice didn't shake. No. I know you have no idea who you're talking about. Grace laughed. Please. Don't make this dramatic. Hannah whispered, here comes another anxiety episode. But I wasn't anxious. Not anymore. I'm done being quiet, I said. Mom frowned. Lily, don't start. I lifted my chin. Maybe I should have started a long time ago. They stared at me like I'd grown a second head. I turned around without waiting for any of them to respond, walking back toward the party with a strange, hard calm spreading in my chest. Something new. Something dangerous. Something that wasn't afraid of them anymore. The spark had finally lit. And it wasn't going out. I walked back into the main room, forcing myself to breathe normally. My heart was pounding, but not from fear this time, something sharper. Something steady. I headed toward the drink table, trying to keep my hands from shaking. I heard Tyler's voice first. Iron Peak is seriously the best company I've ever worked for, he bragged loudly. Their new leadership is insane. Numbers are way up. The merger was genius. Ben added, yeah, man. Whoever runs that place must be a monster. In a good way. Jacob laughed. I hope they give us bonuses. We freaking deserve it. Hannah grinned. Imagine us climbing the ranks. Iron Peak is like, top tier. I stopped mid-step. Iron Peak. My company. The one I built at night while Grace slept in silk sheets and Mom blamed me for every problem in the house. The one I grew from a small platform to a full analytics firm. The one I sold 40% of so I could acquire the exact department these idiots worked for. Tyler lifted his glass. I swear, if we ever meet the owner, what's their name again? Ben shrugged. Nobody knows. They've stayed out of the spotlight. Probably some old dude in a suit, Jacob joked. Definitely not someone like Lily, Grace said, laughing. She can barely run her own life. I stepped closer, quietly. Tyler smirked. Imagine Lily running Iron Peak. The stock would collapse. Mom chimed in, don't be cruel. Then added, softer, but yes, that would be unrealistic. Their laughter hit me like cold water. I didn't speak. Not yet. Ben went on, honestly, half the stuff Iron Peak rolls out is trash. They overprice everything. Something inside me snapped. Jacob nodded. Yeah, the last update was garbage. Whoever approved that must be clueless. I stepped closer to their table. My voice came out calm. Is that what you think? Grace jumped. Lily, you scared me. Why are you creeping around? I wasn't creeping, I said. I was listening. Tyler smirked. Eavesdropping? That's rude. Mocking people is rude, I replied. Ben rolled his eyes. Relax. I looked directly at him. No. Grace crossed her arms. Lily, what are you even doing? Go mingle with someone. Tyler snorted. If she can find someone who wants to talk to her. I felt my jaw tense. What do you think of Iron Peak, again? Ben shrugged. We just said it. Great company. Dumb leadership. Why do you care? I breathed in slowly. Because you work for me. They blinked. Then they laughed. Hard. Grace wiped her eyes. Oh my God. Lily. Stop. Tyler chuckled, pointing at me. You own Iron Peak. Are you drunk? I don't drink, I said. Hannah leaned over. Sweetie, what are you talking about? Iron Peak, I repeated. The analytics company. The merger you're bragging about. The leadership you're insulting. It's mine. Tyler shook his head. No. No way. Lily, be serious. I am. Grace scoffed. Lily, stop lying. You can't even afford decent shoes. I held her stare. Want proof? She rolled her eyes. Yes. Please. Prove to everyone that you're delusional. My hands didn't shake when I opened my bag. I pulled out my tablet and tapped the screen. An email was already open, the acquisition announcement with my name in bold, sent from my corporate attorney, Mason Cole. Next to it was the leadership confirmation. CEO, Lily Carter. I placed the tablet on the table. Silence exploded around us. Ben leaned forward. No way. Jacob's mouth fell open. Holy. Tyler stared at the screen like it was written in fire. This is real. I nodded once. Grace's face drained of color. Lily, what is this? Some fake document. Mom snapped. Lily, enough. Why are you doing this? Stop making up stories. I turned the screen toward her. Read it. She squinted, her lips parting slowly. This can't be right. It is. Grace whispered, how? How did you, when, what? Ben whispered, we've been insulting our boss. Jacob whispered even quieter, we're dead. Tyler swallowed hard. Lily. Why didn't you say anything? I met his eyes. Why would I? You all made it clear what you think of me. Grace stepped toward me. Lily, come on. You could have told us. You never asked, I said. You just assumed I was nothing. Mom grabbed my arm. Why didn't you tell me? I'm your mother. I gently pulled my arm away. Because you would have taken credit. Or ruined it. Or told me I didn't deserve it. Mom opened her mouth, but no sound came out. Hannah whispered, so, everything you built, all of it was real? Yes. Tyler ran a hand through his hair. Lily, look, tonight was supposed to be fun. We were just joking. No, I said quietly. You weren't. Ben nodded slowly. We were jerks. Jacob whispered, she could fire us. Tyler panicked. Lily, we're sorry. Seriously. Please don't make this a big deal. Grace's voice trembled. Lily, you can't ruin my engagement. I stared at her. You ruined everything for me for years. Her lips quivered. I didn't mean. Yes, I said. You did. Mom pressed her hand against her forehead. Lily, sweetheart, we just want to understand. You never wanted to understand, I said. You wanted me small. The entire room watched, whispering. I didn't care. For the first time, their words didn't crush me. Tyler took a small step forward. Lily, let's talk privately. No, I said. We can talk Monday. At the office. With HR. His face turned grey. Grace whispered, Lily, please. I shook my head. I'm done being your punching bag. And as I turned away, I felt it, the shift. The moment their smiles died. The moment the power they stole from me came back. And it felt nothing like fear. It felt like freedom. The moment I turned to leave, Grace grabbed my wrist. Lily, please, she whispered. Don't do this. Don't ruin my engagement. I looked at her hand, then at her. I'm not ruining anything. I'm just done. Grace's eyes filled with panic. You can't be serious. Tyler didn't mean anything he said. Tyler stepped forward quickly. Yeah, Lily, come on. We were joking. You know how guys are. I know exactly how you are, I said. Ben muttered. We apologized. No, I said softly. You panicked. That's not the same thing. Mom suddenly appeared beside me. Lily, sweetheart, let's calm down. We can work this out. I always believed you'd do something great. I stared at her. You called my work a fantasy. Mom forced a smile. I only said that because I didn't want you disappointed. That's not what you said. She tried again. Well, I meant it with love. Tyler cleared his throat. Look, Lily, I know we got off on the wrong foot. You're obviously brilliant. Maybe we could reset our relationship. I raised an eyebrow. Because I'm your boss now? He flinched. No, that's not. Grace cut him off. Tyler, stop talking. Then she turned back to me. Lily, I'm begging you. I don't want drama tonight. You created the drama, I said. You and Mom and your friends. Grace shook her head frantically. I didn't know you were. You didn't care who I was. Hannah, sitting stiffly in her chair, whispered, she's right. Jacob whispered, we messed up. Ben sighed. Big time. Tyler shot them looks to shut up, but they kept staring down at their hands like guilty children. Mom touched my arm again. Lily, let's just focus on the positive. We're proud of you. No, I said. You're proud of what you think you can get from me. Grace's voice trembled. You're twisting things. Am I? She didn't answer. Tyler swallowed hard. Lily, at least tell me I'm not getting fired. I never said I'd fire anyone, I replied. But I won't protect you from the consequences of how you treat people. His face went pale. Right. Office investigation. Got it. Grace put both hands on my shoulders. Please don't walk out. Please. If you leave, the whole night is ruined. It already is, I said. Just not for me. Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. I stepped back. I'm done being your scapegoat. I'm done being the family embarrassment. And I'm done letting any of you define who I am. Mom's voice rose, sharp. Lily, don't be dramatic. This isn't dramatic, I said. This is me choosing myself. Tyler reached out. Lily. Good night, I said, and walked away. Grace whispered my name once more, barely audible, but I didn't turn back. I left the hall, stepped into the cold night air, and breathed for what felt like the first time in years. The following week, things unfolded exactly as they were supposed to. No revenge. No schemes. Just normal company policy. HR called Tyler and his friends into meetings. Not because of me, because Iron Peak had already been monitoring their performance issues for months. I'd never even known. Ben texted me once, we deserved it. I didn't reply. Grace tried to call me 3 times. I let every call ring out. Her 4th message said, Tyler and I are taking a break. Her 5th message said, this is your fault. Her 6th message said, I'm sorry. I read them all. I answered none. Mom emailed me a long message about family unity and healing together. At the bottom she wrote, "P.S. Can you look at my taxes this year?" I laughed for the first time in days. Then I deleted the email. One evening, I sat on my balcony with Ethan, watching the city lights blink like tiny signals. He nudged me. "You okay?" "I think so," I said. "For the first time. I actually think so." He smiled gently. "Feels good, doesn't it?" "It feels like breathing." I looked up at the sky, letting the cool air fill my lungs. "I chose myself," I whispered. "Finally," he said. And for the first time in my life, freedom didn't feel impossible. It felt like mine.